Hello everyone, my name is Ice37 and today we're going to be getting started with another one of our Rain World Bingo matches. This is going to be the Innovative versus the Custodian. Now I'm very interested in this match. Both teams are already going to be moving on into the tournament bracket, but this will determine their position in that bracket. With me today as well is Spark Breeze.
Hello! The format of today's bingo match, as with all matches in the tournament so far, is going to be 5v5 lockout bingo. If one team gets a goal, the other team is completely barred from achieving it as well. It looks like our vetoes today are Artificer and Saint. An interesting combination. Although with the history of Saint being rolled despite the vetoes, that might not stop us from having another Saint game.
We'll see if we have another Saint game. I wonder if this is more because one team really wants to do combat focus and the other one does not, or if it's just because a lot of people think that Saint is a lot different than a lot of the other characters and it's hard for them to do as well. I am not sure how much experience both teams have in comparison to each other. I know Diana and Cuba Fire can perform very well, but I've really been liking the stuff that Crazy Dream and Milo-san have been pulling off these past few matches. So I'm very interested to see where this one goes. Now, if you were in this match, who would you want to have rolled in this wheel, Spark Breeze, as we get prepared to roll it?
I mean, I'm very partial to a little bit of gourmand gaming. I think his movement mechanics, his crafting, I think that's all very fun. But it can sometimes make for a little bit of a slow match with the exhaustion and again the movement speed that Gourmand has. And with, I believe you're having another match very soon, or you're working on one, so that might not be the best to roll if you want to get there on time.
Well, we'll deal with it regardless of what happens. We do have a match in an hour and a half from now. As we get the wheel set up here and the teams ready. One thing that I am kind of thinking about is how much is this position that the two teams are fighting for actually going to matter in the long run. I'm going to check the bracket stage here for a second. This is Group C, and then a lot of cases we'll see that Group C, if you're first seed, you will actually move on and not have to do a match that all of the second and third seed, but in some cases the second seed will also be able to move on. So we'll see how that goes. All right, we're going to be spinning the wheel here. And I'm thinking it's going to be Monk here, which I suppose both teams are going to be more okay with just because it is not one of the vetoed ones. It's getting close to Artificer there. We'll be setting up that match. Now, are you more of a I want to kill everything that moves, or what do you want to do when you're doing bingo, Spark Breeze? Or are you doing bingo?
I mean, I unfortunately cannot play bingo. I haven't played any bingo matches myself. But I know that combat can both come with quite a bit of a risk of losing time with, dying. But it's also quite fun. I know you just run around stabbing things. Although with Monk not being a very combat-focused Slugcat with the decreased spear damage, the lack of reliable spear damage, if there are any points goals on the board, it'll be a little more difficult for our teams to achieve it.
It is still not the worst. In the case of Monk, a lot of cases it is going to be the fact that we don't see as many creatures as Monk, and then of course it just takes a bit longer for Monk.
That is
the fact
true.
that you have a stealth bonus though as Monk and things don't really want to attack you nearly as much makes it a bit more okay on some weird circumstances if you know how to abuse that, which could be interesting. If we do have to play as monk and take off masks off of vultures, that'll be the point where it might be a little awkward. As that can't really do that until they're dead, or if you use lily pucks, we'll actually consistently take them off if for some reason you have a lily puck near a vulture. That would be a fun situation.
Yes, you just need to carry a little puck all the way to Chimney Canopy to do some vulture cheese. Just casually. Just bring it all the way up. Yes. Although there are lily pucks in the gutter.
I don't know how much you're really going to want to carry something for that long, especially if you're going to be potentially running into other things that can attack you as well.
Yeah,
so you might accidentally throw these things.
You can't put it in your stomach either because it's edible.
So, with this, monk, I don't know, this also allows Metro and Outer Expanse to be options for monk. I have a feeling all of the more boards that use those kind of things have been used already. As we're getting to our last matches here, we just have 4 more matches left, including this one.
That is almost true. There. Although I would be very interested to see if we got a random spawn in Metropolis. That would be very interesting for the players to navigate around. It's going to be quite difficult without the explosive jump that the Artificer has.
Yes. Okay. I'm not sure. So Metro is interesting. Having spawned in there, I actually started to realize, there's actually a good amount of things going on in there that you can actually complete. A lot of them dealing with squid cicadas. And so if there's a decent bit of squid cicada goals or killing stuff or scavenger toll things, you can actually just stay in Metro. That wouldn't be too bad. However, leaving Metro, you're using your passage. Because I believe it's Karma 5, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it is Karma 5 to exit Metropolis. And just another thing with Metropolis, it is pretty much a dead end. There's only one gate in and out, and that takes you to the exterior.
Right, here we are looking at the board. Spark Breeze, do you want to go over row 1 for what the challenges are?
Alright, the first row is enter shoreline. Earn 115 points, I believe.
It's 85 points.
108? Oh, 85. Sorry, it's quite difficult to read from here. Next goal is take a vulture grub through 2 gates. Goal after that is hit a pink lizard with a bomb 2 times. And then the final goal for that row is pass through 5 regions without entering farm arrays, which takes farm arrays out of the central spawn locations, I believe.
Yes. So same thing with shoreline there. Now with the second row, we have steal 6 spears from scavenger tolls in particular. This can be directly from the scavengers or the spears just on the ground, even when the scavengers aren't around. Tame a black squid cicada. 2 different ways to do that, either feeding them bat flies or bringing them to a shelter and resting with them. Bring the shoreline pearl to moon. If you're in shoreline, you might want to do this. However, this is super out of the way, and we've seen teams lose simply because they went for that square. Go to enter chimney and eat 7 blue fruit. Depending on the spawn we get, might be easy. So we're not sure if it was a specific spawn or a random spawn. All right, you want to go over the third row?
Yep. The third row is store 2 colored pearls in a shelter in the exterior. Kill 3 white lizards. Eat 6 karma flowers, which does mean karma flowers will spawn. Earn the Colescopede unlock. And bring a white squid cicada through 3 gates.
A lot of gates there. Could be interesting. You bring one from outskirts all the way up through into chimney. However, We'll see what players do. I actually would love to do that one. Otherwise, for the fourth row, we have get 51 points in one cycle with the one of 85 points in total. These may happen at the same time, depending on what happens. There is 3 jellyfish in a single shelter. So here's another shoreline goal showing up there. Get the chimney, canopy, vista, 3 different locations, one of them really hard to get. The martyr unlock on the diagonal. Now, you can do this anywhere, but you're really going to want to do this where a lot of popcorn is. Industrial is a really good spot for this. Pin 2 mold lizards in shaded. Now, I just kill them and pin them, but the terrain they're in is a little awkward. Now, if you can go over the last row, I've seen a lot of shoreline here, I'm noticing.
Yes, you have to earn the shoreline vista, meet the Sky Islands Echo, earn the Outlaw Passage, I believe.
Yep.
Bomb the Farmer Race Toll and pass through it. And get the Pipe Yard Arena unlock.
Yes. I'm not sure where that arena unlock exactly is here either. Let me check that, see what happens.
Right, I will check.
It is up near industrial, it appears, where some of the squid cicadas are. Maybe you get squid cicada goal and you get that one. I see potential for... Well, actually, let me stare at this a bit longer. Is there really anything to do in Sky Islands? Not really. I mean, there is the Echo. I do feel as though in this match, you really don't want to be anywhere near Sky Islands or Farmer Rays, especially because of the Farmer Rays goal in the top right. Even though the Sky Islands Echo goal is there, I think that's just a square you gotta ignore. I feel like Shoreline and Shaded are the big ones here. You're probably gonna deal a lot with getting stuff in outskirts and industrial and moving them places, such as getting the tame on the squids, getting a white squid cicada through many gates. Killing white lizards is a weird one here as Monk. I don't know. They're always different for every character. Where are these white lizards? In many cases, when you really want to try to find a white lizard, you don't actually know where they're going to be. Chimney is usually a good place for them, but they may fall off and die horribly before you actually get there.
That does happen.
We'll see.
Quite a bit in Chimney. And with the Monk in particular, white lizards sometimes just don't go for you. They just sit there. So might be, depending on whether the players can exploit that mechanic or not, might be quite an interesting goal. And it looks like we are starting.
Yep, our start here. It is garbage waste in the middle here. So a bit more awkward place. If you want to go for that Steel Spears goal, now is the time. Otherwise, you're going to be going over to Shoreline. Has a good amount of goals. I'm thinking about that just because I know other people aren't going to be nearly as comfortable. That was a random shelter. I really like that spawn as well. Now, Shaded, again, is another big place. There's Shaded, there's Industrial Outskirts, and Shoreline are the big places I feel like you really want to think about Industrial to Chimney and to Shoreline personally.
Crazy
and then thinking about Shaded after.
Crazy Dream immediately gets plucked out of the garbage waste water by a very hungry vulture. Quite unfortunate.
Now, if you are going to be in this situation, Spark Breeze, now where would you like to go? Are you someone that wants to go to Shoreline? Are you just more comfortable going to Industrial? Are you doing the hard way into Shaded to try to go really fast, but could be risky? Or the long way around to there?
I'm seeing a lot of players go to the garbage waste hole. Blue team is doubling up, going in that direction, I believe. With Diana heading over towards possibly industrial or drainage, likely industrial. Honestly, if I knew the directions that these players were going in, I would try and go for the garbage shaded gate. Quite difficult to get to, but it seems pretty uncontested at the moment.
Have you ever done that path is also a question. Because that, if you haven't done it before, that is a very difficult one. We've seen players not perform well. There are squid cicadas there, of course, but unsure. It
Oh
looks like
my
Cuba
god!
Fire. I don't know if she tried to steal spears or what happened, but the toll crossing did not work out. So from
Those
a lead getting
scavengers.
to shoreline, that is now gone.
Yes, those
Crazy
scavengers
Dream now
were
going to be
not
closer.
happy.
Diana is next to Industrial now, however, so this could work out in Red Team's favor. Regardless of the issues that Cuba Fire had, Milo-san is following Diana into Industrial. Our Crazy Dream is just getting to the toll that Cuba Fire just died at.
It looks like red team is ahead in terms of getting into industrial, but blue team is ahead at getting into shoreline. So it might end up. Sorry. Could be quite interesting.
It's still pretty close. Cuba Fire needs to make up some ground, but they're not too far behind in the end. Crazy Dream's not going for stealing the spears. I don't think you should worry about that goal here of all places, especially because it's garbage waste. There's a lot of scavengers. Even if you kill all of them there, they'll start getting replenished by scavengers from other areas. So you really don't have the time you want. If you went to outskirts and all of them died or all of them hid, they're really never going to come back, especially as Monk. I believe there's a few less scavengers. I might be wrong about that, but you're going to have a better time in basically any other region trying to steal spears, just because they're going to constantly be coming in.
That is true.
Even if you cleared.
Less of a risk to go to a less populated toll.
Interested to see direction Diana goes now. I am realizing that there are squid cicadas in garbage waste, but neither of the people that went to industrial have walked by them. I actually don't know if the squid cicadas exist there for Monk. Let me check. I believe they do.
Oh, Crazy Dream.
They must have walked by them if they do.
Crazy Dream's getting swarmed by beaches.
There's 3 black squid cicadas in garbage waste that both Milo and Diana walked directly by. Maybe they weren't thinking about it. Maybe they didn't want to go for that. Really unfortunate for Crazy Dream because it gives Cuba Fire a chance to get back. The other thing that's starting to become a problem is that the karma requirement getting into shoreline. I'm forgetting the exact requirement. Let me look at it here in a moment. It is Karma 3. They start with Karma 2. I believe both Cuba Fire and Crazy Dream are at Karma 1, so I really do hope they have thought about this before fully going into it. People need to stop swimming through the water, I think, but Cuba Fire can just starve here to get past the gate if they so want to, but it is going to be rough going through shoreline. They can go back to the previous one and get one of the 2 berries that I believe is there, however.
There's also
I'm Diana getting those berries as well.
Yep. There's quite a lot of bubble fruit in the first rooms in shoreline, so starving may not be as big of a detriment.
Could
and it looks like
Cuba
Fire is going for the blue fruit in the room before the gate, it seems, so she won't have the starvation issue.
Milo-san is starting to eat these berries. Big thing about these berries is the fact that we are Monk, and that means we cannot really eat all 70 of these berries in one cycle, even if we wanted to. So that might slow some things down and allow other people to catch up for that square, especially Diana in this case. Seems like Diana doesn't care so much about the berries while Milo-san is going for the Karma flowers and is going over to outskirts while Diana is getting the enter chimney canopy square, which I think will be very important because of the diagonals there. That eat Karma flower square is still the most important square right in the middle. Now that is 6. I believe they might have gotten a Karma flower in garbage waste, maybe not. Otherwise, there are 3 Karma flowers in industrial and then 1 up in Chimney. If Diana's really thinking about it, they can eat the one up here in Chimney, eat all of them in Industrial, then go and get the 2 in Outskirts. Now, I believe that'll get perfectly till 6 if there is one in Garbage Waste that they did get. Otherwise, you can use a passage to make 5 cycles pass immediately and potentially have one of these cauliflowers respawn. But I'm unsure if players have really thought about that much.
That is very true. Diana is entering Chimney Canopy right now as Cubifier enters Shoreline. Diana, I did see the enter Chimney Canopy goal pop up, so if she decides to shelter just in Chimney Canopy, that's going to be the first goal locked in for red and the first goal locked in of the round. I assume from here, Diana is going to go for the Chimney Canopy Vista, although depending on where it is, that could be quite annoying to get to.
You gotta check that lower one that is a massive jump over a pit. If you haven't done it before, it could be quite awkward to get. It looks like Diana got the grub out in Garbage Waste as well. I didn't realize that she had gotten that. So getting 2 goals there while Cubifier locks in Shoreline at the same time. Crazy Dream probably feels bad here because they're right next to that while Milo-san is just entering into Industrial. Again, I'm unsure if they died earlier or what happened. The fact that they are losing their progress on their berries is unfortunate, but it doesn't appear like that is going to be an issue as Diana isn't necessarily going for it, and they're not in a region where you can go for that easily either. Same with Cubifier. Now, it does seem like Milo-san is trying to kill a bunch of things. Could be going for the points goal. Green
Diana.
kills are a good amount of points, but
I believe
it's
7. I could be wrong.
It is much more than 7, I know that. I believe it is in double digits for green kills, but it is a lot more awkward as a monk here. Let me look that up real quick again. So Green Lizard is one of the few things that's pretty good. They are 10 points.
Right.
Which is good for not having a
pretty good
red
source
creature.
of points then.
Thread to see how things go in Shoreline here. Crazy Dreams got to catch up a bit to get some of these goals.
Crazy Dreams does have a black squid carder, so he may be looking for the tame.
That is good. I didn't realize there was one immediately here. So here's the weird thing about taming a squid cicada is if you bring it into a shelter, it is tame, but it doesn't tame immediately. You have to rest, like it is tame. If you rest one more time with or without the squid, you will get the square. I'm unsure if Crazy Dream knows this. If I am them, I'm entering Shoreline, eating the 2 bubble fruit, and I'm resting immediately so I can get that square. We shall see how much they know that. Otherwise, if they just survive another cycle at all, they will get this square.
Yes, we will see. It looks like Diana did go up to the Pearl Room in Chimney Canopy looking for... I believe one of the Chimney Canopy Vistas is up there.
One of the Vistas is there.
Doesn't find it, although it does look like she's...
Too easy. It's possible. Bringing 2 colored pearls up there would be good. Could have it in her stomach here. Unsure.
Potentially. No, it doesn't look like she's holding the pearl.
Milo-san getting another save. I believe they ate some berries. Progress on that.
Yep. And that will be the Tamer Black Squid Carder goal locked in for blue team.
I do question again. It has seemed like Milo-san is going for at least a decent bit of points. I'm also thinking about the enter 5 regions before entering Farmer A's goal. Could be a big one. I think that's in a really good spot.
Before I found the Shoreline Vista, I believe. Yep, Shoreline Vista.
Okay, it's on the drop pipe. This is a weird one that you can walk by accidentally. Just because no one really enters this room.
Gets the Vista
Really
more
good
bro.
position for a square. All of the squares that red team have gotten are really good positions. Anywhere, any square you can get that is on a diagonal is super worth it. And they have 3 on a diagonal. Not the same diagonal, but 2 on the same diagonal and 1 getting blocked by the tame squid that blue team got.
That is going to be the
Really,
4th goal locked in for red team. They
yes.
seem to have quite the lead at the moment, but given that it's so early on in the game and there's so many goals still available, it is still anyone's game. Diana, I did
So
know that she picked up a bomb in the chimney
I don't
scavenger.
know where I would never have thought about doing that here. I always forget that exists. Yeah, very odd. That is a good one to go for. Getting the row 1 there could be really good if Diana can also get points. Cube of Fire and Shoreline, not a good place for points though.
Diana is heading back into industrial complex with the monk gates. She doesn't have to worry about karma, although that wouldn't matter because she is at karma 4 at the moment. I wonder if she's going to try and go for the points here, or if she's just going back for that bombing pink lizard's goal. I'm unsure.
I am interested to see what Milo-san does here, just because Karma Flower goal is very important. If Milo-san can get that goal, it is a really good comeback for blue team. Additionally, if I'm Crazy Dream, give up on Shoreline. Enter Shaded. Do the shaded things. The other team already has the advantage. You don't know how close they are into getting into Moon. Moon is also super out of the way. The big thing I will say is right now, both Crazy Dream and Cube of Fire were just in the same room while Cube of Fire decided to save while Crazy Dream is going to continue onwards. We'll see what happens there.
Very interesting. I believe, yes, red team did just lock in the eat 7 blue fruit, and I did see that goal flash up on Mersan's screen, so that's quite unfortunate. Given that if he had just sheltered a little bit earlier, that might have been another goal for blue team.
Big thing, just if you get a goal, you just need to lock it in, especially in this situation where basically you're tied with someone on the other team constantly.
Milo hits the dragon skip.
Unsure what you do at that point. That's really good. Diana back in industrial, falling down into garbage waste, or just trying to go for this karma flower off here in the bottom of industrial. Get some blue points potentially. Okay, no karma flower unless she's already gotten it. Unsure. Do you think this karma flower square is going to determine a lot, or at least it's going to allow blue to get back into the game by blocking some of these bingos? If I'm red team, I'm thinking about weird situation with Diana. All the bombs are probably gone now, and the green isn't even dead yet. So, no points today, and no more bomb for Pink Lizard either.
Yes, you're going to have to shelter if you want those bombs back.
Karma Flower from Milo-san here. I don't know what they're at. I assume this is 3 or 4. If you do eat a Karma Flower and then you die, the Karma Flower does not respawn. So you're in a little bit of a gamble.
Interesting.
This is not a good situation for Milo with that Caramel not moving. I'm either going to the previous room or I'm dropping down because this is not a situation you can wait in. Go Fire doing the Shoreline Tower swim here. We are Monk. You can have Monk Breath, so it's not as terrible. Milo-san gets grabbed by a pink lizard. I'm unsure if they stabbed this pink lizard, but because it is monk damage, it is unlikely they'll get stunned from damage. And they gotta do that cycle again. That's one less Karma Flower for Milo-san. That one doesn't count anymore because they died before they could save eating it.
Yes, that's unfortunate.
So
I believe Cubefire is going to be trying to get the store 3 jellyfish in the same shelter goal.
It is a very important one. I'm unsure if Crazy Dream's really thinking about it. I think they're holding 2 jellyfish. They're going to a different shelter than I would have thought of, but it is a bit safer if you can get the jellyfish over there. They have 2 next to a shelter right now. This would be a really big goal for them to get, because this starts doing column B for blue team as potential.
And it also blocks off a potential bingo for red team with that diagonal.
I think if I'm blue team, it's now the time to be like, all right, let's stop the immediate bingos, and then we just go for our own bingo, just to put pressure on them. That column B is the best one that looks right now. I'm unsure where points are. Diana killed a good bit of things. Milo-san killed a good bit of things. Crazy Dream and Cubefire are not in a good place for points currently. I'd assume that Diana and Milo-san are tied on Karma Flowers, but Milo-san did die with one of the Karma Flowers, so one of them is not going to count at least. That is the jellyfish goal for Crazy Dream, but they're not locking it in. You can eat, I believe you can eat the jellyfish afterwards. They're just getting the berries outside just in case.
It's going to get food.
So that will be just fine. Again, that's a really good goal to get. Do not go to moon. Please don't go to moon, Crazy Dream. It will not be worth it.
Milo-san is, I believe, working on the points goal. And the stealing spears. You're going to have to be very careful with
really good situation for Milo here. Just pick up spears and throw. You got it. There's just one more. I wouldn't go back to the right unless you don't have 5 karma. If you do have 5 karma, just go to the left. Little awkward. We gotta hope the scavengers don't appear on the right side of the room for Milo here. It could be really rough, but they really want this square to just put some pressure on red team, blocking off another setup for them on a column. Just kind of get out of here. Try to have a spear in your hand if you can. Get over to drainage or the industrial shelter.
I would have been.
They should be able to make it now, though.
I would have been a little bit surprised if Milo did go to farm raise, given that does mean they will not be able to go for the enter 5 regions without entering farm raise goal.
I do feel like
to ignore
Diana solo, also just looking at their mouse movement, really wants to go for row 1. Which I don't know if blue team's even in a position to stop them. Diana's been to garbage waste, industrial, chimney, outskirts. They just need to enter 1 more place. Milo-san needs to enter 2 more places, while Crazy Dream needs to enter 3 more places. So Milo's got to go pretty fast. If I was Milo, I'd be picking up a white squid skate and I'd be going into industrial, then I'd save just inside there. But they might not necessarily be thinking about that. They're probably just thinking about, I need to lock in Steel Spear's goal. Diana, I'm unsure where exactly they're going to be going. I'd go to drainage to lock in that E1 square. That kind of seals the deal.
It does seem to me like she is going for that entering 5 regions goal. Going to, unless... Maybe going for the white squid
as well
in these rooms.
Interested to see which gates Diana goes through. If you're comfortable with the pebbles percent, the old route, you take the squid all the way to the wall. And you can also have a pearl in your stomach the whole way. You get the pearl at the top of the wall. You get 2 pearls in the wall and getting that squid all the way along. Probably get some karma flowers on the way too. Maybe
talking of karma flowers, if Diana manages to shelter, that will be the central goal locked in for her.
Okay, that was what she was looking for. It's gonna be real hard for blue. They gotta go for that bingo and be calm. Unless Diana dies here. Of course. Now, that did end up exactly as I was kind of hoping it would. Cube of Fire went to Moon while Crazy Dream entered into Shaded. That's the best that you could hope for Blue Team here. Just because Cube of Fire is quite isolated, has to use a passage to get out to get anywhere quickly, unless they really want to. She really wants to go to Shaded. Well, Crazy Dream is already in Shaded, getting that Colesipede unlock and getting Pin, Mole, Lizard, Square. Can likely go for points here as well, fairly easily, but it's a slow burn here. You get the slow points from killing creatures. Not very fast compared to other places, but you can be consistent. Cube of Fire did passage back to the starting garbage waste shelter.
I did
Diana
see
and
that.
Milosan, the same room. Been
Still working
mirroring
on-
each other for a while.
Still grab that Karma Flower. Even though I believe Cube of Fire already has Karma Flower protection, maybe as insurance in case Diana doesn't manage to lock in the goal.
Diana does die right
Gosh.
here. It's going to be hard for her to get it back. See where she goes. Gonna follow Blue Lizard up to the shelter. Hopefully Crazy Dream does not fall to the clutches of Shaded Bridge. They're all good now.
It looks like Diana is going to lock in that central goal for Red Team.
Really good setup from Red Team. Really good routing. Didn't have as much of an issue at the beginning as both of Blue Team had. Blue Team had a lot of creativity getting some of these other weirder goals pretty fast, but couldn't keep up nearly as well with Diana and Cube of Fire doing essentially the same thing as both of them were doing. Yosan almost died to a pink lizard here. I wonder what they're thinking.
Going for points by slaughtering a bunch of scavengers in garbage waste. I think one of the scavengers hit a spear parry.
I'm unsure what exactly they would be going for. Oh, there is Outlaw. I forgot that was a thing. Cube of Fire can get Outlaw off of Scavengers. Be really good. Now, Milo-san and Crazy Dream are probably both having good progress towards it, but they don't exactly have it yet. It does look like Crazy Dream's trying to kill a decent bit of things. Now, it's pretty much killing 7 creatures, more or less, is how you get Outlaw.
I believe Diana is likely going for just trying to give the pearl to the scavengers, but ends up going into the treasury, probably trying to collect bombs for the bombing pink lizard's goal.
Looks like she does have a bomb that will put a lot of pressure on them once they get the bomb, pink lizard. Now, it is at the point again where is it possible that Milo-san could take E1 from Diana, as Diana still needs to enter 1 new region. Milo-san needs to eat 2 more regions. So does Crazy Dream. Crazy Dream technically in a better place for that in some ways, just on the right side of Shaded. It's not as great. Milo-san going to Chimney. That Vista would be good.
I'm not sure if Diana picks up that bomb. I don't see it in...
Thought she had a bomb. Now, a bomb is still random spawn. There can be multiple, but there also can be none in every scavenger cache.
I did see at least 1 bomb in that treasury, though.
See what they're going for. Maybe it's just kills. Now that green is really angry. Kill points from either team is going to be pretty important. I'm unsure if that's what Cube of Fire and Diana are going for.
Potentially. I wonder if... The thing I'm a little bit surprised Red Team didn't go for when one of their players was in Chimney was head up to the Chimney Echo, activate it, bring a Vulture Grub along. do a little bit of vulture cheese
Yes.
for those points.
That does make Milosan a better situation here. They walked by the grub, however. So maybe not technically really thinking about that. Right now, with, I believe it's going to be bomb to pink lizards. Diana's about to lock that in. Blue team were just able to get the outlaw, which takes off a little bit of pressure, but it's going to be 3 in a row again for red team. I'm Milosan. It's white lizard kill time, which I know they exist here in Chimney at a decent abundance. Maybe not as much for Monk, but you're gonna want to be thinking about that. That is a really good square for you to be getting, as well as the points. I think you kind of got to go for both. It looks like they're thinking about the Vista more, so they're going to be going up here looking at the Vista. Maybe they have the pearl from outskirts or otherwise, and they can get one of the other pearls, but it doesn't look like they're actually thinking about that at all. Didn't check the Vista room at all. Maybe they're just looking for white lizards here. That would be the good one. Milo needs one more region for enter 5 regions before farm arrays. So does Diana. So it's still... Diana's not too pressed in going for that either. That would be a really big goal for blue to get. Just because it stops the bingo, but it doesn't contribute to their bingo. I think red team is just thinking about stopping blue team's bingo. It's pretty much you get anything on B column. And blue can't really do that much more. There is still 4 row, but that's not as easy.
It does look like Fire is going for the points goal right now, which, if she is successful, that will block off one of blue team's 2 remaining bingos. Oh, I did see
Milo got
Milosan does get the white lizard.
You need 3, however. Diana going to Pipe Yard. Yeah, this is really good, actually. I didn't think about going here. I thought they were going to go some far direction. This isn't too out of the way. Not a lot of other good white lizards for Milo. Maybe you're thinking about points again. I think you super just need to get points and try to be around Industrial Chimney so you can run into white lizards as well. You needed to go higher up on Chimney to see more white lizards. They didn't really go out of their way nearly as much for them. Going out near Pipe Yard as well, looking for white lizards. I believe there'll be potentially one here. Unsure how it changes for Monk.
Potentially. Milosan might also be going up to Pipe Yard.
Right as Diana's going to be locking in that 5 region goal, Milo will also be locking that in if they do enter Pipe Yard. But I don't see much of a chance of Diana dying here. In the case that Diana does die, that is a really good thing for blue team, however.
There are quite a few goals that can be achieved in Pipe Yard. You could get started on the bring white squid Carter through 3 different gates goal. You could... I believe there's a handful of... There has to be a handful of white lizards in Pipe Yard, right?
Probably not anywhere nearby, is the thing.
Okay, let me...
See if there's anything going on Diana's screen. It doesn't look like it. She's not immediately going towards the shelter. However...
Is that on?
Everything's on Diana's screen right now. If Diana saves, it is...
Just go to the shelter.
It feels like it's just over for blue team, but if she doesn't save, Milo is going to get the square. I don't know if she's just going for some cheeky points for a moment here. If Milo has enough food, they're going to get this square. That stops the bingo, takes off some pressure for blue team. Blue team now gets to decide when Crazy Dream gets these mole pins if they want to go for B column or 4 row. Blue team's still not out of this, somehow. Milo is not saving either, but hopefully that's just to get the food up above or the food directly to the left here. I hope it is just to get this little bit of food. It's still pretty close.
I am surprised.
Okay,
that
just
Diana
walk to the
didn't kick in
shelter.
that save.
Don't eat it. Just hold it.
Just go.
I feel like if I'm Diana, I'm getting this squid, I'm going back to the left and then the save, but you're not doing that either. Are we going to Sky Islands? Is that what's happening? I guess that makes sense.
Oh, the arena unlocked.
Oh, there's the arena unlocked, but that doesn't matter nearly as much as everything else going on here. Because we're only going for bingo for blue team, and the only square that mattered was E1.
Very unfortunate for
Hyper greed
Red.
on red team's side. Could end up bad, but Cubify has been working on points this whole time. If they get that square, it's still not over for blue because they still have 4 row, which Crazy Dream is working on with the pins. I think this is them saving the pins. I might be wrong. They at least got one. No, they got both of them. If I'm in this position, it's Milo-san, you gotta go to Chimney. Crazy Dream, you gotta starve yourself for 10 years to get martyred. You gotta do that. You gotta hope that Milo-san gets points. Maybe you have Crazy Dream get points. I don't know how comfortable they are with getting that many points in a cycle here. Milo-san is deciding not to go back to Industrial, go to Chimney. It feels like this might not be decision to make.
Wait,
maybe they're just thinking about the Squid Together here. This could work out, but the squid square just does not matter. You really just gotta get 3 points.
Just go for Marder. Go on.
Oh, so I'm still thinking about what are they gonna do? Where are we going? I don't think everything that's gone well for blue at this point, trying to claw it back. You gotta go to Chimney. You have to get bingo. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 6 right now. I don't think you're gonna make it back with majority. Even with Cubify kind of in just the middle of nowhere. Is there something else? Maybe Milo-san, right here where Milo-san is, there's a decent bit of popcorn. It could be beneficial for starving. But I don't think that's what Milo-san's going for. I think they're going to try to enter Chimney from Pipe Yard Sky Islands, is what it feels like with this squid.
That would give him the opportunity to get the Sky Islands Echo, but like you said, like you said earlier in the match, that might not be worth it. That might be a little bit out of the way.
I don't know why Milo's taking this time to get the squid, but now is giving up here. You could definitely make the jump with the squid. You are likely not going to otherwise. Okay, we just don't care about the squid anymore. Unsure what was going on.
Cubify could be going for points in the cycle by bombing the upper garbage waste hole.
Would be a good thing to do. It's pretty much over if red team gets a square on 4 row. Is where it's at right now.
Yes, that would mean blue would have to go for majority, but with red having 10 goals.
A thing to also think about is Milo-san's checked 0 locations for Chimney Vista. So they don't know if it's at the bottom of Chimney or otherwise. I feel like it's on the jump, is my guess. Because we know, because we saw Diana go for it, it is not next to the Pearl. And I'm going to assume they also think that as well because the other team got entered Chimney without getting it. Why would you not check that? Milo-san did not check tower.
I'm unsure where the other locations are for the Chimney Vistas exactly, but you did say one of them was at a jump?
Yes, there's a one-way massive gap jump on the bottom right side of chimney, that you must come from the correct side or you can't do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you will fall into the pit as well, because it's in a slightly low position for when you do a pounce over. It is a bit difficult to set up. Diana has brought a squid through 2 gates. Unsure why we're going for this goal, but we are getting it. I would have gone to chimney, and then I would have gone up chimney with the squid potentially. Just because I'm used to doing that, and then getting 2 pearls in the wall.
I think Cubify might be able to lock in the points in one cycle after that vulture kill.
If Cubify can get out of here, because it's still a really rough place.
Yep.
It's not simple. It's not just over.
Manages to get the headshot on the scavenger, though. Oh, Milu-san does appear to be heading into Sky Islands.
Crazy dream. Unsure if they've been starving this whole time. Haven't paid nearly as much attention. I would be going for that. I feel like you really got to be thinking about that.
That would be
Okay, Milu-san got the spider goal. Maybe they are still kind of in it for the majority. Maybe they are like, all right, we kind of set up a potential bingo here on row 4. Can we misdirect them and actually go for majority, even though we're 4 behind? They are. It is still 10-7 here. Go for some weird goals.
It is still definitely possible for blue team to pull back the win.
Yeah, I still feel like you gotta do martyr if you're blue team. Otherwise, Diana's gonna potentially go to farm raise, or just not go to farm raise. We're gonna save an outskirts. We're gonna go back out, and then we're gonna go over to chimney. That is a good idea. That gets you 3 gates without having to go anywhere too weird, but wastes time. Farm array still had the bomb toll there, but we still need to stop row 4.
Reaches the shelter past the toll, but doesn't have enough food.
I don't think this is, unless Mio-san picked one right outside of Sky Islands. I don't know if this was one already in Sky Islands or otherwise for a squid. If it was from Pipe Yard, then if they enter into... Go into... that is not a pole. Go into the wall, then it could work out. Or they just don't care about the squid at all, which I find a little confusing. Maybe I'm just one of the more comfortable people with the squid. Not really working on this goal, kind of teasing us constantly having one, but throwing them away whenever anything weird happens.
Maybe he let go because he wasn't thinking he could make that jump with the squid cater in hand, but it ended up flying away. Cubify is grabbing the food in that room and is probably going to be heading back to the garbage-based shelter. And that is going to... I believe that's going to be the points in one cycle goal that locks in for red team.
Cubify still just needs to get to a shelter, though, which is not simple. All the food's on the right side here. I'm pretty sure you need a squid to get across. It might be wrong. It might just be a pounce. See if that jump works. It does. Got a vulture mask.
You make it.
Oh, they have eaten. Okay, she has eaten. A lot of weird goals getting suddenly here. Cubify getting points in one cycle, though. That pretty much ends it for blue team. And if Diana gets squid through 3 gates, it is 12-7. Unsure the progress that blue team had. If that was Milo-san locking in points in one cycle, this would have been insane. But it's still... Diana's probably the closest to this vista.
Cubify does have the points goal. I'm seeing it flash up on her screen right now. So as long as you manage to shelter and there isn't some rogue spider sitting in that room waiting to ambush her, that is going
monk,
to be...
so
yes,
it's not going to be
it
too
is
bad.
monk.
And there's no spitter spider. So that is likely going to be the end of blue team. That was really good. It's still not over, but it is 12-7. Very hard to come by.
Yes, blue team would need to get 6 more goals in rapid succession in order to win this game, which seems pretty difficult from their current position.
Both teams did really, really good. Brett team had that good start right at the beginning, which they kept up the pressure the rest of the match. Blue team brought it back really hard, taking advantage a little bit of Diana's greed there. At one point, getting the 5 regions before entering farm arrays, but weren't able to get enough squares, weren't able to clench out a bingo either. Still just a bit till we actually fully get there. Milasan tried to do an extended slide there to get across the Sky Island jump, but didn't make it fully across.
Unfortunate.
So very unfortunate for them. They already saved here in Skylands, so it isn't that bad. Diana is not... Oh, they did lock in the squid goal. It is still 12-7 now.
Diana,
Still
I
need
assume
one more square.
Diana, I assume, would be going for the chimney canopy vista.
At this point, Cubifier is stuck in Nowhere's Land. They can only really work on Martyr. While Diana, she's going for the Vista. Crazy Dream's going to be behind her, while Milasan is going to be going for the Skylands Echo. Blue team has to get every single other square on the board right now. I hope that Crazy Dream has a pearl in their stomach, because if they do not, it'll be hard to stop 2 pearls in the wall in the case Diana does, or at least gets the chimney and then goes top of wall. But I'm expecting the Vista to be in the next room here for Diana. Now, this isn't going to be an easy one to get, especially with a squid, because the arc's going to be awkward. See it in the center of the screen right now.
It is in that room, and there is a vulture
very
there as well.
awkward position. I don't think you get it with a squid. I do not think it is reasonable.
Discarding the squid
if you've not done this, you can just pounce over it. It is possible just to do that. Or just barely not make it, but they barely made it. Really good. All right, they still need to save. Is very close. She has the food, but white lizards exist here between her and either the lower shelter or the upper shelter. Cubifier is making up to the scavengers for murdering all of them for points. But that is all good. Milo's getting the Skylands Echo ready while Crazy Dream is trying to catch up to that Vista of Diana. If Diana dies here, that again gives blue team a bit of a chance. But with Diana knowing where it is and having done it before, it is still a bit difficult. We still are all kind of looking at Diana here. That last goal. Cubifier trying to kill a egg bug here, potentially for Martyr. That would be really good for that, actually. Okay, second white lizard for Milo, I believe. They could easily get a third one here in Sky Islands, so that can work out quite well. The super odd square out here is Farm Array Toll. Diana also getting white kills. Diana should get dropped here unless the monk damage wasn't enough. With the lizard damaged, it could randomly get stunned and drop Diana. Yeah. But if this has only been one spear, I do not believe it is enough to actually drop her. Okay, it did drop her because the pipes. Just lock in the square. You just need one more.
Let's go and shelter.
Don't worry about it. Okay, you don't have a spear anymore. The white lizard threw it off the edge. The lower shelter is easier than the upper one. It is very close. At least Diana stabbed it once.
And I think
Milosan,
it
I
just
believe,
fell into the abyss.
second white lizard. Still needed a third, but we're kind of just getting the echo here. Don't know what the other team's doing, if you're blue team right now. Crazy Dream gonna be checking the first of the Vista locations for Chimney here. Milosan, if he checked the location earlier, could have saved Crazy Dream some time. But what are you gonna do? You kind of gotta go for the goals you can go for. Crazy Dream now murdering everyone.
Just a casual bit
Now
of
you know
murder.
the Vista isn't here, not getting the pearl. I wonder if 2 pearls in wall will matter. Now this isn't the shelter room for Diana. There are 2 spires that look quite alike to each other, and one of them doesn't have a shelter. Diana probably thought this was the one with the shelter. But Diana has another platforming section to go through of this room, which isn't terrible, but if you don't do it that often, it could get awkward. Good square from Milo, slowly clawing it back. If Cubifiers didn't martyr, though, again, I don't know how you stop that. I don't know what you do if you're Cubifier. It's not really a good place to starve, but doing one thing at a time. Diana is 1 room away from the shelter.
Coming up to the shelter, indeed.
But there is the chance of Vulture or a White Lizard again. There's no Cyan Lizards like there would be for all the other characters. Could be Blue Lizard as well. I believe we've potentially seen all the White Lizards possible for Monk. I don't know why Diana is trying to stab that wall really hard when you can go around the left side. Or what's going on? Okay, we're gonna go the long way now, I guess. Again, for the future, you can just wall jump off of the giant pillar on the left and get up to the save. You also just go up the ladder that Diana's next to now, or we can do neither of these things, and we're instead gonna go through the place where we can die, which is this scavenger plus the next 3 rooms before we get to the shelter next to Sky Islands.
Interesting.
Crazy Dream gets the Vista. If Crazy Dream goes down, they very easily can get to a shelter much faster than Diana. Diana is also going down now. I don't know what Diana's been thinking. They've been essentially 2 rooms away from a shelter 3 times and have gone the other direction.
Maybe doesn't know where that shelter is.
It is possible. Crazy Dream took this shortcut, which I don't know why you did that. If you have enough food, you can just go right here. This is going to beat Diana if Crazy Dream doesn't keep going back and forth. That beats Diana into getting the Vista. I don't know what's going on. Diana probably thought that she couldn't get up to the shelter anymore and was just like, all right, I'm going to go to the thing I'm comfortable with. And it's going down here, going that way. But now it doesn't matter. And unless Cubifier has starving, I don't know what's going on. Oh, Cubifier is entering the exterior for 2 pearls in exterior. I don't know what Cubifier has with her.
Why
but
would you enter the
very much
exterior
could
from
be possible.
here?
You enter exterior from memory crypts. Why else would you be near memory crypts at this point? Maybe we're doing centipede things.
And
so Milo-san, you get White Lizard kills. This is an exceedingly good place to starve for Milo-san. Very much can do this. If Diana and Cubifier lock in for exterior pearls, blue team can't do that much to stop that, however. I don't know if and when Milo-san's going to get this last White Lizard kill. I believe both Cubifier and Diana have 0 White Lizard kills. So they still got to think about that if they're going for it. Diana's seeing 1 here now. 1 kill for Diana is a
So I
bit
saw
crazy.
that.
We're in this situation. It may be 12-9, but blue team's actually in a good position to get these squares. All of them except both teams are not in a good position for farm arrays toll. If it really comes down to that, because I know Milo-san and Crazy Dream can get Martyr and White Lizards. I very much know Milo-san can get it. I don't know why Milo-san is in this room right now. Where are we going? Just stay at the shelter you've been at. The White Lizard will respawn. You can get Martyr easier there because there's food everywhere. Maybe Milo doesn't think as such. The egg bug respawning is huge. The 5 popcorns in the area is also huge. I don't know if Cubifire has a pearl. I don't know if Diana has picked up a pearl. They're getting White Lizard kills, it seems like it is. This is going to be the second one for Diana. Maybe Milo-san is just thinking about this White Lizard kill and doesn't want to farm for cycles for that one that they killed earlier to respawn. I'd go for the respawn on that White Lizard. I don't think you're going to make this jump as Milo. If you do not do the roll, you will probably never make that.
You can make it without a roll, it's just
It's
a little more
way
annoying.
less intuitive.
It's tighter.
And it can be very not good. Because you're kind of guessing when you're jumping. Just starve.
Cubifire
Milo.
died to the mirror.
Please just starve. Or check for White Lizard. If Milo-san gets White Lizard, it's a really good spot for stopping what Diana's doing. Cubifire still vibing. It's going to be quite a while before she can do much of anything. I'm going to assume she has 1 pearl. She's got a massive adventure ahead of her to get 2 pearls in exterior, however.
Diana needs just 1 more White Lizard kill, I believe, with that one. Heading away from... Decides to head back. Cubifire is still trying to go through memory crypts.
Or it's kind of just wait and see. We just gotta watch. Literally anything could happen. It's still super in red team's ballpark. Blue team's a bit closer to getting some goals, but it's both teams' game to throw in some ways. Milo-san making it the hardest as possible for themselves. Milo-san has a pearl. Okay. Very easy. You can get 2 pearls here for Milo-san into the wall. But the White Lizard kill could come into play here. Crazy Dreams potentially could be getting kills here as well.
I do think Diana is going to get it, though. Yes, that is the 3rd White Lizard killed for Diana. If she just manages to shelter, that will be game.
We'll see how this goes. Of course, we saw earlier, Diana got super delayed before. We don't know what's going to be happening with Crazy Dream just yet. We don't want to interrupt them while that's happening. They are still playing in the background here. It's just the streaming getting interrupted. So we'll get that back in a moment. We will have them pause while we get that back. Not too much of a problem. I have no idea what Crazy Dream might have done in this time, but given their location, it is possible they've gotten White Lizard kills. Milo is at 2 White Lizard kills, as I understand. If they run into one here at Sky Islands, and kill them and save immediately here after they cross this gap, then it's a good place. However, this might be the gap directly next to Chimney, so I'm unsure.
No, this is not the gap directly next to Chimney. I believe this is the one leading up to the Kavaya room? Could be wrong.
Okay.
I will have to check. I will have to consult the map. Islands. No, it's the one after the Kavaya room. Alright. So probably heading towards Chimney in that case.
Right, while we wait for Crazy Dream to come back here, do you think blue team has a chance? Or do you think Diana locks in this white square?
I do not think blue team has a chance. Diana is so close to the shelter. I think it would be miraculous if blue team manages to pull off the white lizard kill and get the rest of the goals after that. But even if they don't manage to pull back this match, that they still had a great showing. They still managed to continue throughout the game. They managed to snatch that into 5 regions goal right under red team's nose because Diana got just that little bit too greedy. But unfortunately, that may not have been enough.
If Diana's been through this area multiple times already as well, I'd assume that they will not mess up you, but sometimes the pressure will get to you. Especially, it's going to be a little awkward going through some of these rooms, but it still isn't that far away. All right, Dream Internet appears to have went out, which is why they do not exist magically. We'll get them back in just a bit here. Shouldn't interrupt the match. We will see where they ended up in a bit. I'm not sure how much progress Milo got on Martyr either. If it really ends up with somehow Milo-san gets a white lizard kill, it's not the white lizard kill anymore, and then Milo gets the 2 pearls and starving, how does anyone even get to Farmer A's? I don't even know who still has a passage. I don't know if Diana's used one. Cuba Fire did, and one of blue team did also.
I didn't even notice that blue team used a passage.
I think one of them passage to garbage wastes, but I might be wrong. Whoever was in
Fire was the one that
shaded,
passaged
I might be
to
wrong.
garbage wastes.
I thought both of them did for some reason. Maybe neither blue team have. Milo would be in a really good position to get over there.
Looks like Crazy Dream's stream is back up, so hopefully the game will be starting back up again in a little bit.
All right, thank you everyone for being patient while we get the stream back up. Sometimes these technical issues do happen. All right, we're gonna have them start up here. Unsure where exactly they had their issue. They might have already saved afterwards, or what might have happened. We shall see where it will go while production makes sure everyone's on the correct path here. It is possible that Crazy Dream was able to finish something during that time.
That is possible, yes.
as they would still
But
be able
like
to play
I-
despite the internet.
Like I have said, it is going to be very hard for blue team to come back and win this game by a majority.
All right, looks like we are starting to continue here. Unsure if Crazy Dreams saved or this crashed and then set them back. We will find out. They get a little bit of time because they were paused first and because of the issues that Crazy Dream had. So we'll see where that goes. We're having the timer pause for a bit to compensate for the about 4 minutes that we had going on there.
Crazy Dream, where are you headed? Are you...
If Crazy Dream has 2 pearls, could also be White Lizard kills. White Lizard's are going to be over here on the right side. It's at least the one. Could be worth it. We'll see.
Hello.
We're looking at Diana here. I believe if Diana just saves, they will get the 3
Diana.
White Lizard square.
She might not have enough food and she could be going for the blue fruit in this room.
She is going next to Industrial to save in the end.
Oh.
Is much safer here. I wouldn't really have gone the other way, but
Fair
that's
enough.
fine. Likely still has food, so we're going to go up here.
Yep, has enough
Could probably
food.
drop down faster, but that's fine. All right. Last little bit here.
In the absence of a rogue white lizard, that is going to be the killing white lizard's goal locked in for red team.
At least I believe Diana has gotten it.
Yes, I saw the
That
goal flash up
should-
on her screen.
That should be the end of the match there. Good job
And that
from
is
both
game.
teams. Very interesting match. Blue almost brought it back for some greed moments that red team had. Cuba Fire also was pretty isolated for quite a while, couldn't do much. Try to bring it back with pearls in exterior, so it was actually possible if Diana didn't get these 3 White Lizard kills as fast as she did. Really good job. I don't know. Normally we've seen a lot of matches where it's like the first 20 minutes again are the most important of any match, which makes it so that when red team essentially got the 3 squares that blue team was working for at the same time, it was very, very much in their favor. But blue team had a lot of creativity, was able to pivot on the fly, and did very, very well. Both of these teams are moving on into the bracket stage, regardless of the result of this. Diana and QFI are going to be higher ranking in this case, but this still makes it very interesting. I'm very interested in seeing how Crazy Jim Milosan perform in these next matches. How do you feel about the match? Win.
I think it was a very interesting match to watch, especially with that, again, with blue team snatching the enter 5 regions goal from right under red team's nose. That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed commentating for this match. I'm glad I had the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you for being commentator for this match here today. Thank you everyone for watching this match with us. This was a pleasure to commentate this match. Very, very interesting. Fun to say all of the moments that happened. Thank you everyone, and have a good rest of your day. We're going to be having a match in about 10 minutes here, so please be aware of that happening, so don't go anywhere too far now.
Make sure to stick around, grab a snack in the meantime, and we will be back for, like I said, another match.